Hello and assalamu alaikum to all the people watching. I'm Aman Khan from Evolve Consultants and I'm back with another episode of Evolve Talks and with yet another session with the topic which is most important. And in the previous one, we talked about entrepreneurship, but as this one is about a very important aspect for every business, that is ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning, जिसके बारे में आई गेस ज्यादातर लोगों को अभी भी इतनी इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं होती बट इट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग and to discuss that and know all about it, I have with myself a person who is highly experienced at it. I have with myself Mr. Irtiza, who is the Vice President of Abacus Consulting. So without any delay, I'll have him online and we'll begin the session. So, hello Irtiza, how are you?
I'm good, Aman. How are you? How the things back there?
I'm great. Everything is going little upside down, but great.
So, okay, still we're taking up the pace up, making up the
Taking
things
up the
right
pace.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
making up the
So, tell me about it. How's the lockdown going? Or lockdown or
lockdown.
anti-lockdown? We're not
Yeah,
sure what is it.
lockdown and the start of the lockdown. We presuming that how to cope up with this situation because it's quite challenging for us that to provide the services that is not tangible, but you need to keep
Exactly.
your customer happy. So one the thing that is not tangible, you need to just give so much efforts. So basing on that, your customer need to analyze and need to understand the situation that in this particular pandemic and COVID, the challenges are there. But the
Exactly.
industry that is the GCC, that what we're doing the things right now, mostly customer understand that the digital transformation is a key for them. But yes, we face the challenges, and the first week was like around we not getting a grip out of it, that how to make it happen. But after a week, gradually the things getting stabilized. And
Stabilize.
Alhamdulillah, right now that's at what we do the analysis for 1.5 months. We actually achieve something 15 to 20% more productivity, and that's
Wow,
what we
that's
do in the
really
daily
great.
basis. And the reason behind that, our consultants are in, although are in their places, not going to office, but the traveling time from one location to another, they actually making it productive working from the home. And 15 to 20%, we already did our mathematics, and we
Great.
are much aligned to do the services and the ERP implementations right now. And we started a couple of projects in other regions of Abu Dhabi, in Dubai, in GCC, other countries like that, in Kuwait. So that's how we're doing things right now.
Great. So, Eksa, before we move to our main topic, that's ERP, and you are, I just told the audience that you are the Vice President for Abacus Middle East. So, tell
Yeah.
us something about Abacus. What is it actually, what you guys do, and how are things at your place right now?
Abacus, as you can understand from the name, is the first Chinese computer. That's how the things evolved from there. It's a 30-year-old company. We started our operations in 30 years ago from Lahore. From there, we just with the 4 or 5 employees, we're taking up the things leap and expanding the things in a different dimension and different domains. So Abacus altogether is actually classified into four major wings. First wing is IT information technology solutions, that I'm a part of it. I'm a part of the sub to sub wing. Then the second one is that we just going to full-fledged education and the tier one applications like SAP all-in-one, the tier one applications, or you can say. The second one
Hmm.
is for the CFTCs. That is actually the budgets of Pakistan. Abacus played a quite part in it. Are a
Uh-huh.
dedicated department doing merger and acquisitions, making order. And the third and the fourth one is human capital management. So these four
Great.
are pillars, and within the pillars, there are subdivisions. That's mean the ERP division, Tier 1 division, application development, BPO divisions. And as in for the particular GCC market, the big customers for us is Kareem is one of the big customer, and we providing the
Nice.
services to Telenor in Pakistan. So we have approx 17 to 1800 seats way back in Pakistan, and we providing the services from there. Second part is human capital management. That's
Mhm.
full HR cycle from acquisitions, from following up, providing the HCM portfolio. That's we do dealing it. Then we further going to information technology system where the ERP wings come into the play. and then ERP having, the four major pillars. That means you first doing the sales, then the pre-sales, then the delivery, and the prior support and development likewise. So that's how the Abacus work. And we are right now targeting something around 2,800 employees over the globe. We have our
Okay.
delivery center in Pakistan. Our headquarters is now shifted to UK. Then we have one legal entity that is registered in Dubai, and one is Saudi Arabia. And we recently opened our second delivery center in Egypt. And down the line, we're bringing up to the Philippines because we need to just doing the services for the USA as well. So that's why the
Yeah.
Philippines is just around the block for us.
Great. So that was the introduction of Abacus for all the people watching. And coming to our main topic, Irtiza, there is a very common term that we all in the business and the enterprises use, that is ERP. But still,
Hmm.
there are many people who don't know. If you ask a layman, he won't know that what is ERP. So I like you to give us a short introduction of what is basically ERP.
Yeah, the same questions mostly lots of people ask me, and by the time I jump into this career, they asking what is ERP and what you do. So I've been like,
Yeah.
I'm doing SAP, or they've been like, what is SAP? What is ERP? So I told them that's the abbreviation for enterprise resource planning. So they've been like, what are the resources you need to plan? Everybody doing the things by their own. So
Yeah.
ERP is just a window, or you can say a pathway where we just structurize yourself to doing the organization. Or you can say
Mm.
it's a culture where you just execute the processes, execute the way of execution between. That's
Okay.
as what we're talking with each other. At the back end, there's an ERP that processing the information. As you are going to a certain location, there always a route plan for it. So ERP
Exactly.
defining the route plan for an organization to how to do the business. This is a very, very layman approach, that if you're starting a procurement, what are the pre-documents you need to do? What are the vendor information that need to be done? So basing on
Uh-huh.
that particular information, how the inventories, how the reflection of those, it will be happen in inventory, how the store will be happening it, how the purchase department will then, how the finance part doing the part. So these particular breakups align to a terminology that is we used to call that procure to pay. You buy
Uh-huh.
and pay. But between buy to pay, there are lots of processes. I need to do the
Exactly.
evaluation. I need to do the create a request. Once this request, the purchase order is issued for the supplier. Once the purchase order is issued for the supplier, the inventory is received in the store. The guy
Mm-hmm.
who's receiving it, receiving the physical quantity. So that's mean in the application you marking that inventory, and then the
Yeah.
finance is doing the payments basing on the vendor invoices. So this is a very little one.
Mm-hmm.
Basing on that, automatically financial management and everything is working come to the come into the place. So giving the ERP is just a art of doing a business. That's all. And if you know the art, you can control, manage, execute, and handle your business in this particular manner. Okay.
Exactly. So that's ERP, and the common term we use for that is this SAP systems, and this common term which we all know.
Yeah,
But as far as I know, there are different types for that. There's SAP B1, A1, and F1. So most of the
yeah,
people don't know the differences between them. So if you can explain different types to us.
yeah. ERP on basis of country is a very, the broader term. Within
Yeah.
the ERP, there are lots of applications. There are Oracle is there, SAP is there, Microsoft is there. So for us, our bread and butter is SAP. We
Mhm.
dealing with SAP from 15 years. So within SAP, there are again, the mid-size organization and the middle organization and the first year organization. Same like that. How much deep pockets you have? If you go to the market, definitely you have some deep pockets. That whatever the
Yeah.
commercial is money, that what you need to buy, from which even particular store you need to buy. So same as it is based on the demand and as per the understanding of an organization and the size of the organization, we fix that organization into that category. So SAP is small and medium enterprises. So small and medium enterprises can be if one user is actually handling the full cycle of the financials, that can be handled from there. Then
Mhm.
we have business by design. So the business by design is upper mid tier, that is actually the cloud-based application. And the third application, S4HANA, all-in-one. So it's enterprise level application. Some applications like organizations like Angro, G Electrics, these organizations are using that particular application. So for we
Mhm.
talking about majorly for the SAP business one, it's adaptable, functional, easy to deploy, accessible. So every next organization is can be and easily fit into a SAP Business One. And we have an experience of approx 500 plus implementation with the same product. So
Uh-huh.
what
Great.
process, what are the processes are there? That is actually just we talking to each other. I'm designing a process for you. So that is again, the lifestyle of Business One or SAP. It's all together. Once the consultant and organization going to opt it, they need to understand their demand. So, and for that, we are the expert. As in for you, if you're owning an op business, I'm definitely asking a few questions from you and just be like, okay, is it SAP Business One or SAP BYD and SAP all-in-one fit into it? But
Yeah.
as in the career perspective, if somebody wants to be a part of ERP, first, the perception of business analysis you need to understand how a business works, how we talk with each other. The talking with each other, it's a mechanism at the back end. So then definitely an ERP working at the back end. So that's how the business one, business by design, and all in one works into play. So for the business one consultants and for the business one organizations, that what they need to do, they first need to analyze that either the Excel work and the paperwork definitely providing the right output or not. But
Uh-huh.
if you invest a little amount, you can get a product that is accessible, provide the right output in the financial terms, and handling your processes on your fingertips. And the
Oh,
output will be over the emails, over the mobile apps, over the WhatsApp, over the SMS. So it's like you are sitting at the home and you need to get a report automatically generated on your WhatsApp by 11:30. So you'll be having that. You want to
yeah.
do get in an SMS, that is there. You want to get in an email, that is there. So the functionalities
Great.
of accessing the information is n number. So few of the ERPs, that what we're doing, the integration with the social medias and the point of sale applications, that is actually we doing right now. So it's all together. You just need to think that how flexible the flow of information that has come to you, and you definitely need
Ah,
to have a mechanism. And for that mechanism, the ERP came into the play. Now, once you go into the ERP, then you need to find which product, SAP, Oracle, or Microsoft. Then what are the merits and demerits of SAP Business One? So SAP Business One for small and medium organization do the same part, and from there you can fit up yourself into that particular shoes of an ERP or the SAP Business One.
okay. So there's a thing that these are all different kinds of ERP, and people all over the globe are investing in it. So, but if we agree on the point that ERP is definitely not very inexpensive, and not everyone invests in it. So, what is this one thing and all the perks for which people should invest in ERP?
Actually, few people understand that as soon as you bring up an ERP, they will lose their job. Logically, this is the logical concept that is in the market, and everybody don't want to go to digital. And they be like,
Hmm.
might be reports coming to the play, they're doing lots of jobs. And after just bringing it ERP and adopting that particular product, basing, then what will happen? Their jobs will be go. They need to understand one thing. If you invest a little amount of money to streamline your processes, that will add a little star in your CV. That is, I'm a user and I'm the guy who's having an expertise in SAP Business One. Now assume the
Yeah.
fact SAP Business One have 60,000 customers all over the globe. So if you know that ERP, particularly with SAP Business One, so you have 60,000 opportunities available in the market. But
Hmm.
you have a fear factor that I'll lose my job after the ERP. Nobody willing to invest it. So first of all, if you want the ERP, it's not inexpensive. You can get a monthly pay schedule on a very minimum. So you can get 1 or 2 users, you can start from there, and from there you can gradually add up your processes likewise. So mostly approximately 70 to 80% what we see that everybody is reluctant on the change management. And for the change management, definitely we doing some sessions, we letting them know at what benefit they'll be getting after using the ERP in like around 6 or 7 months. It's altogether the opportunist market. So you need to be very opportunist. So get the
Uh-huh.
things that you're organizing, and mostly your CEOs and the C-level executives willing to invest it, but the mid-tier force them not to invest it. You know why? That they fear that might be the change management will tear them apart and they will lose their job. So that is the biggest factor. And we just doing few
Exactly.
analysis. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the thing, that when you should invest. So there's also a very common question that we get, is that when you should invest in ERP, when do you think that it's the right time for your business to have the ERP in your system? And especially in Pakistani business, do you believe that modern business requires ERP from the start?
Yeah, I agree, and I must enforce every user that is starting up their business with a little capital. Okay,
Mhm.
you definitely need a structured system where you just monitor your business. So monitoring a business required a little investment, but what you invest today, and if you plant a tree today, you'll be having the benefits in the longer run. So let's
Mhm.
assume if you start doing an Excel sheet working, and I'm the one who's your end user data entry KPO, so key punching officers, always change the values from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, so the right impact of that particular output is not there. So
Mhm.
the organizations that are starting with the capital investment, they can get very easily one of the application on the monthly basis. And mostly in most of the business, that what we're doing these days are the entrants. They want
Uh-huh.
that everything from the very first day should be in the books, should be the right financial impacts, should be the cash flow, the balance sheet and profit and loss statement will be giving the right output for it. We just need to let them understand, and I'm just particularly requesting everybody to just sit with me for like around 4 or 5 minutes. I can tell you that what business benefit you can have in the longer run, but if you
Uh-huh.
invest on the ERP. So they might be feel that that's an luxury we going for it,
That's,
but
yeah,
the luxury give you the right output so you can live your lavish lifestyle. So for the
yeah.
lavish lifestyle, definitely there's an investment need to be done for
Need to be done, exactly. So for all the people who just keep bugging on this question, is that Irtiza has very well explained it, and we got a question when we advertised it that was most common, and I can see if I can flash it on the screen.
it.
Otherwise, I
Yeah.
can just ask you. Yeah, it was that how SAP B1 is different to the other middle scale ERPs. That's the most common question.
Okay. So everybody asks the same thing. Why SAP
Yeah.
Business One? I've been like, why not SAP Business One? This is the first. They've been like, why not SAP Business One? So that's mean SAP Business One is like we doing the customization and the business adaptability as what we are talking. This is the first thing. You
Uh-huh.
have lots of consultants available in the market. This is the first thing. They're readily available and the manpower available in the application. So just of all, and just for example, you need to buy Honda or Toyota. So why you buy Honda and Toyota? Because their parts are available in the market. Same
Yeah.
thing for the SAP Business One. There are 60 to 65,000 customers are there. And if you assume that 60 to 65,000 customers are there, just considering the number of users, so that number
Users.
of users are available in the market. Now, they've been like, why we only go for SAP Business One? Why not other ERPs? So you can just go to LinkedIn and find SAP Business One. You can have like around 10 or 12 pages, the consultants available for it, and the local support also. Right now, for Abacus in Pakistan, particularly, and the GCC markets, we have approx the portfolio of only the SAP Business Fund consultants. It's reaching something 120. So we have
Uh-huh.
120 customers, consultants sitting in different locations. I'm talking about
Great.
Egypt, Pakistan. I'm talking about Karachi. I'm talking about Lahore. I'm talking about Islamabad. So we taking the full spectrum for it. And if you compare the merits and demerits from the applications, the other applications, you can see it's easily adaptable and it's
Mm-hmm.
customized. So this is
Okay.
the first thing. That's an edge for the product, that how easy is adoptable. So they've been like, it will take lots of time to implement SAP Business One. I mean, like,
For sure.
trust me, if you have the data with you, you able to achieve the right outputs in a month to two maximum. Now the data,
Great.
what data is there? Do you have structured customer data, suppliers data? Do you have structured item master data? So if you need to do the business analysis and business process engineering, that will take time. But if you are already structured, 1 to 2 months is, the on a higher cycle if you're ready. So now we're doing one thing. Prior going to the customer, doing the implementation, we're doing the orientation sessions, that to tell the customer that what is the product is all about. So they mind map the things. Okay, I might we need to have this thing, might need to have this thing. So from the business analysis perspective, we teach them prior we starting
Mhm.
the implementation. So by the time the implementation start, the cycle will reduce to 1 to 2 months on the standard vanilla trading company.
Great. So that's why people just always go for SAP B1. Most of the people go for SAP B1.
Yeah.
So I'll be taking another question, and it will be from the audience, and
Yeah.
it is from Shazia Bukhari, and she's asking that do you designate each consultant to a specific company to set up a business?
Yeah, actually, as soon as we started an implementation, we nominated a set of consultants. That is actually the business analyst, or you can say the project managers. From the project
Uh-huh.
managers, you have project consultants. So project manager is the one who drive the car, and the other are the passengers. So within the passengers, they're doing, the tweakings of the application and making up that particular shape that what your business need. So that's a set of team. Definitely on the management perspective, there's a frontier and the project managers and the project consult. Minimum for handling a SAP Business One project, it will take 1 to 2 resources basing on the standard or the vanilla trading company. But if the scale of the project is big, that can go to 3 to 5 or 6. That is again the complexity of the businesses. Or minimum it can handle with one resource easily.
Uh-huh. So there's another thing, Itiza, that when we started Evolve Talks, so since then we are always in every session we try to analyze that how this thing is now and how it will be post-COVID. So there's a question that how ERP business is during the quarantine and how it will be after the COVID-19.
The business for ERP, mostly we face the challenges that everybody is actually surviving, is fighting for its survival. So they've been like,
Mhm.
why we just invest on the luxury that might be we don't need to get the right output. So you need to go digital. They've been like, I need to take my business to digital, that I need to
Yeah.
control everything from the home. So for that, definitely there's a tool where you can do your financial management and the process management. And for that, the ERP is there. Initially, the
Mhm.
challenges that what we face, they mean like it's in luxury. Why I need to put lots of amount of money to just get it done. So we're like, okay, you're sitting at home, you want to control your business. What tool you're using? Either you're using Excel or either you're using Microsoft Word. So why we cannot offer you an SAP on the monthly payment schedule? They may like,
Mhm.
yes, that sounds interesting. So we break it down to a complex pricing structure and offer them a monthly payment schedule. So they be like, okay, I can pay that particular like around few $1,000s monthly to get my business up and running. So what
Uh-huh.
we initially how we do it, as soon as the COVID start, we did the cloud campaign. So whatever the businesses that are on site or on premise or on the locations, we take out over the cloud. So we did an extensive activity. We take everything on the cloud, and then we
Uh-huh.
take on the accessibility of an application start from there. And once you talk within the organization and once you talk with different people that I'm accessible, my information
Mhm.
is accessible, everything on the home. So that's how the marketing also will work from one organization to another organization, because the ERP marketing is not there. It's word to mouth, basing on the reference sites we need to handle. That's how the things work. But yes, we face the challenges on the business impact, but
Mhm.
alhamdulillah, we overcome them, basing on giving an intelligent pricing mechanism structure so they can just repay the full investment in the particular monthly calculator.
Great. Ilza, I have been, as you know, that recently DS Global and DS Group were on SAP B1, and I've been a recent user of SAP, and I just wake up and I have all these emails of different marketing and all material, and I then get emails in the evening. So there's a process that I know that you get the reports and however you schedule them. So that's a very big advantage of ERP that you get the reports. So I'd like to go a little technical in that how ERP does that, all these reporting process.
ERP, we've talked about the enterprise resource planning. So there are some associated processes. The process that I need to wake up in the morning, I need to just have a bath in the morning. That's for an example. The ERP works on the same principle.
Yeah.
As soon as the instructions that you embed in an ERP for that particular time, for that particular date, for that particular week, for the particular month or particular quarter, need to
Hmm.
go on these A, B, C, D, select A, B, C, D, multiply A to D, B to C, C to E, and give you the output. You define that logic only once. Then every day or every weekly, that whatever the timelines you provide in the system, it will execute that process automatically and give you the output.
Hmm.
Same like the human beings. You program something for us, we need to just make it happen. The same thing, we need to eat the food. So for the food,
Yeah.
definitely we have a courage that we are actually getting hungry. So we need to get stuff to get the food. The same principle, the food for an ERP is the information that you inputting it. The output
Putting
on
it.
the processing is actually on the facing of reports. So you just need to go to that particular setting, select that this particular date, this particular time, with these parameters, like that you need to choose the multiplication from A to T, D to E, and
Uh,
send an email to Anam Khan on that particular time. So you can have that particular thing easily. It's not been like I need to just starting a full execution to make it happen. As what we talking, it's same as it is customizable and easy accessible for everybody.
Great. So I think that's one big advantage of SAP B1. So, as we were talking before about all these COVID situation and ERP, so I've also personally been working from home. Everyone is working from home. So, do you think that the businesses that were using ERP and on SAP Business One or other apps, so were they more advantages from them that they were having more systemized system from work from homes, would it be easy for them?
Yeah, the basic idea, that's what I shared with you. That because working from home, you want everybody to be engaged in an application. So for me, if I need to create like around procurement planning, I need to create multiple purchase orders. So how I can make sure that I'll be creating a purchase order? Either I can
Uh-huh.
send you an email, and might be after an hour or two you'll be wake up, okay, I'll get an email to respond to it. So as soon as you
Hmm.
create a purchase order, little one, we'll be sending you the messages on your mobile app, on your SMS, on the WhatsApp. So these particular processes keep you up and running, keep you engaged.
Yeah.
So how we can track and trace it, how we can just take the things out. So whatever the activities that are performed in SAP are logged. So let's assume I'm a guy, I'm a guy who's actually just taking the payments follow. So whatever the customers I have with me, I just go to ABC customer. Let's assume Anam Khan is my customer, and I need to
Yeah.
get few amount of money from you. But there's a process need to be done in the system. The process is that every second day, system will
Mhm.
automatically trigger that you need to call Anam and take the follow from it. System will automatically alert me. I'll be calling Anam and recording that particular thing that Anam is like that. I'll be just follow from me after 2 days, after 3 days. So the whole management can see that these follow-ups and these documents are available in the system and who is logging in and out from the application. So the single click that what you're doing in ERP is actually tracked, traced, and their
Yeah.
associated actions can be handled.
Wonderful. So, taking another question from the audience, as we are just trying to let everyone know that how is, because it's very important that everyone knows that how important is ERP for all the enterprises. So, there is a question from Yaver Ali, and he's asking that how can a manufacturing company can be benefited from ERP, especially a SME?
So if we're talking about the SMEs company, so manufacturing, the major challenges is actually the product cost and controlling. So from
Mhm.
every organization, what do happen? You're buying at products and might be, if I'll be a bit technical and I'll be responding to Yavar directly on it. So once you're buying an inventory, there's the cost to it. Once you're doing a production, there's a recipe to it. That means you're mixing up two or four things and you need to get an output. So the manufacturing associated information is like
Mhm.
once you take the raw material, putting a certain cost, that is you receive from the supplier, and from the production cycle, you get the output for the product, that is a cost control. So the manufacturing company always have a track for the inventory they received, for the inventory that they produce, and whatever the profit margins they're selling it to the customer. So for
Uh-huh.
every small medium organization that actually for handling the manufacturing concern, every organization basing on the challenges that what is the cost controlling, what are the profit margins I'll be having from that particular product. And if I'll be asking to Yavrali that if we talking about 500 plus customers, so approx 200 to 250 customers on the SME sectors are in whatever the verticals. If you're talking about pharmaceuticals, if you're talking about textile, if you're talking about the FMCG's production, if you're talking about the food processing units, so we have 14 different business verticals. Those are actually working under the way of production, and they taking the leverages for production cost controlling. So right now today, yeah, if you create
Mhm.
an inventory in 10 rupees, next day, the same guy is creating inventory in 12. So that 2 rupees impact you need to trace that why is 2 rupees increase. That is again
Mhm.
your production, or you can say that your purchase is actually received on a higher price. So that cost transfer factor come into the play on the production, then that will go to your customer. So in the COVID, we face lots of challenges. The inventory shortages are delays are there, and they're taking lots of the money for distributing that particular thing. So basing on that, system to provide is traceability for the cost management front. Okay.
Uh-huh. That was it. I hope Yama, you got your answer. And there's also a question that almost two or three people have asked. That is, what is this? It's related to the cost, but I'm sure that we can't give a particular number since it varies. So if you can give an idea, it's a question from Shazia Bukhari that what is the minimum cost to start investing in ERP? And Yavar is also asking that what is the cost of implementation in Pakistan?
Uh, uh, I think so. This is not the forum where we can discuss the costing, but frankly, if I can answer Yavar and Shazia, if they can just contact us or contact me, I'll be able to give you the ballpark figures for it. But as what we're talking right now, it's a few $1,000s. I'm talking
Yeah.
about the few $1,000s. So let's assume if you have a trading implementation or trading company with have 2 or 3 users, so you can approx on the higher side of 1 or 2 million PKR on the higher side of what I'm telling you. On the lower side, basing on it's always based on the cost or the scope of
Mhm.
work that what you need to see. If you have 20 users, so definitely we need to assess the 20 users, and basing on that, we can make a payment schedule very workable for it. And in Pakistan, the cost is a bit cheap because the labor and the consultant cost and the overhead cost is not too high. But definitely, if we're
Mhm.
talking about the GCC markets, so GCC markets, we need to see that either we doing the remote implementation and on-site implementation, and then the on-site and off-site implementations came into the play. That cost impact is there. So a trading organization has dynamics. The manufacturing concern, because Yavar is particularly, I think, so he's asking for the production related stuff and the
Yeah.
manufacturing, the cost we need to assess. It's a half day activity. I'll be sitting with you, asking probably few questions like 9 or 10, and at that the same time I'll be giving it the cost. Or you can consider not the half day. Let's give me like around an hour maximum. In an hour, I'll take the questions, and in our next or 2 3 hours, I'll be giving it the cost.
Great. So yeah, we're also giving the details of Irtiza and Abacus and how you can consult. So I hope your queries can be easily answered. So moving on, is that we have later seen many little and small enterprises going over ERP, and I'm sure that you have a lot of experience, and you must know that which are the main challenges that are faced by the organizations when they churn. What is the one mistake that you do before shifting to ERP that can cause a problem later?
Actually, the first mistake an organization do, they will like that this guy particularly buy the ERP, so I need to buy it altogether. So first of all, you need to see that are you ready for buying an ERP? It's not been
Yeah.
like you just go to the retail shop and buy the products and grocery and start using it. You need to first see the strength of your team who need to get an ERP implemented. It's not the capital investment that you're doing in ERP. You need to first see that is your team is ready to adopt a change. So before bringing in ERP, you need to do a little brainstorming session or request us. We'll be there for half a day or a day to let your resources know that you need to understand this particular thing, because the major challenge that for every implementation, like 80 to 90% is the change management. So first you need
Mm-hmm.
to let them understand this is the benefit, will not taking the jobs, but enhance the output. And
Uh-huh.
you need to make your resources ready to adopt it. If you adopt something, so definitely you own it. So the ownership is pretty lacking in Pakistan, but it's we can make it happen for you. We can give you
Mm-hmm.
some jobs, some working dynamics. So that is actually the easier for you to sell in an organization. Otherwise, we can help you for it.
Okay, that's pretty much great. So, this is moving a little aside from EIP and moving towards your Abacus. So, tell me something about your journey at Abacus, how it started, and where are you right now?
I'm started with Abacus from like around 10 years ago. I was a marketing graduate.
Uh-huh.
Then I've listened first thing ERP, and the first day I've been like, what is an ERP? And what is
Yeah,
actually
like everyone else.
so I was like a little baby at that moment. So then after that, I started my supply chain masters. From there, I first listened the ERP, and then I get a job. From the first day, that's a live experience. My project manager would be like, I requested a guy having an experience, but you just give me a little baby that might be I need to put a water and everything and let him a guy. So I was
Hmm.
rejected very first day on my job, and then I realized might be this is something is happening. And I was just started my career on the first assignment, that is Johnson and Johnson.
Hmm.
That is the first day I see a light, and after like around 3 to 4 months, I haven't seen the light daylight. And I was working day and night to understand, because as a marketing graduate, you just need to know the marketing aspect, the ATL, BTL. Then it's the
Exactly.
journey started up. I'll be going to the different projects in the different countries, in different cities. I started with Karachi, then to Lahore, then to
Hmm.
Islamabad, Peshawar, Faisalabad, Sialkot, uh, uh, what you used to call interior sins. So I've did lots of projects. Then I've been to Iraq for Iraq duty free projects. Then Africa, Oman, Qatar. So these different areas I've been there. Abu
Uh-huh.
Dhabi, Ajman, everything. I just roam around here and there. So then, as you take the steps, you learn the steps, and it will take you to the end result. So first you
End
need to
result.
agree that you need to take the step, and everybody, and being for us, we need to understand that we need to accept the challenges that it comes
Hmm.
to play. The journey what I have right now with me for 9 to 10 years, that is actually lots of efforts are there, lots of nights are there, but you need to ready for it. But if you're not ready, definitely
Exactly.
there's something that can change you up. So first mentally accept, you need to put yourself into the career that will take you all along. Initially might be like it's so much pressure, but down the line, once you know that how the organization works, so you can talk with everybody, to either the C level or
Sea
either
level.
the E level executives, that these are the flaws, and that's how you can enhance your organization process and your financial management perspectives.
Wonderful. So, इसका since हम try करें कि whoever is watching this, they get a clear idea of what we are talking about and what is ERP and how they can shift to it. So to give a one-hand experience, I'm having our Deputy Manager of Finance of DS Global, and since I just told that we have also shifted to SAP B1
Yeah.
recently on board, so that you guys can tell people that how is the process goes on and what are the challenges, what are the processes, and how you can go if you are an SME or if you are MNC and all that. So I'll be having Amar on.
Hello, Amir.
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम मिर्ज़ा, कैसे हैं आप?
I'm good. What about you? आप कैसे हैं?
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह बिल्कुल ठीक ठाक. Enjoying the fruit of SAP implementation already.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay.
So, Amir, it's over to you now for all the questions you have related how we turned to
Oh,
DST, what challenges we faced, and all that.
okay. So it is I would be going towards some of the technical questions. So basically, the first thing I had in mind is कि जिस तरह अभी पहले एक बात चल रही थी कि email alerts and reporting. तो
Hmm.
basically उसमें भी बात चल रही थी कि reporting at the lower tier level. What I
Hmm.
want to ask is कि मेरे perspective से reporting to the directors and as you mentioned the chief operating and chief executives of the company तो उनके लिए रिपोर्टिंग बहुत बेहतर होती है. हाउ आई थिंक दैट इज कि जी आप मैनुअल से उठ के एक ऑटोमेटेड सिस्टम पे आ जाते हैं. तो आई वुड लाइक यू टू एक्सप्लेन कि ऑटोमेशन सैप में कैसे इम्प्लीमेंट की जाती है. सैप कैसे इसको ऑटोमेट करता है इस चीज को कि डायरेक्टर्स को रिपोर्ट्स के ऊपर उनका ट्रस्ट लेवल बढ़े.
Actually, if you're talking about the directors, there always a myth that the forging the information and showing the information as per the need of them. So ये एक myth है जिसको definitely ERP kill out करता है. और उसके लिए
डेफिनेटली.
क्या होता है कि you either relying on a Excel based application, which actually definitely making up the values up and down.
या
So ERP is actually handling audit trail management. So whatever the informations that is go in the system, it will go out. So the basic concept is garbage in, garbage out. That's an ERP work. So the flow of information that is entered from the resources, basing on the rules and regulations and the data entry inputs that are done, basing on that आपकी जो C और executive level management की resources हैं उसका output देख रही हो. Now, how to relate that information to them? You need to understand that what a business owner need to see in application or the output. It's the profits. That's the base thing. So the profits derive from where? Profits derive from buying the right quantity on the right price, doing the production on the right price, and taking the right margin from the customer. And at the end, customer, and if your executive level resources see the right amount of bottom, or you can say the profits, they can easily rely on the application. Yes, the reporting is pretty all right because the trends on the cost fronts I have. So cost fronts पे जो impacts हैं वो up and down आप control करते करते एग्जीक्यूटिव्स को इन्फॉर्मेशन जो है लॉजिकली क्या होता है कि एज ए फाइनेंस गाय अगर आप एक्सेल पे काम कर रहे हो सबसे पहले एक्सेल पे आना है, एक्सेल को कंपाइल करना है, उसके अंदर आपको 1-2 दिन लगने हैं. ईआरपी में क्या है, executives can go to the application and just click 2 to 3 times and they get the output. So the trust on the application is not on the people, it's on the application. So I'm not there to just assist him, I'm there to just tell him that how you need to take the reports. So कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल इस तरीके से इंक्रीज होता है जब आप एग्जीक्यूटिव या सी लेवल मैनेजमेंट को ईआरपी का एक्सेस देते हैं, वो एक बार इंफॉर्मेशन देख लेते हैं, वहां से उस इंफॉर्मेशन को वो डेफिनेटली अडॉप्ट करके आहिस्ता आहिस्ता उस पर ट्रस्ट करना शुरू कर देते
हैं. बिल्कुल सही. और बेसिकली ये होता है कि हमारे डाटा एंट्री ऑपरेटर्स जो हैं वो डाटा एंट्री करते रहते हैं एंड द रिपोर्ट्स आर नॉट डिपेंडेंट ऑन देम एनीमोर. SAP will automatically provide the reports to the relevant management.
That's true. So
ठीक है. अच्छा, इसके बाद I would like to ask you another question. Basically, from my knowledge, I know that ERP systems can integrate supply chain management in a very good way. Although
yeah.
we've not seen that in Pakistan as of yet, but can you, as you have explained that you have been implementing in other countries as well, have you seen that? Do you know any experience? Kindly share that.
Yeah. Recently, we signed a couple of deals in the COVID that we doing the advanced warehouse management applications. So the advanced warehouse applications are there. You have a big locations. You want that to be receiving the inventory from the supplier on the mobile apps and stacking it in the warehouses. उस पर्टिकुलर बिन पे उसकी काउंट, उस बिन की लोकेशन और उसकी डिलीवरी मोबाइल ऐप से लेके जानी है. तो ये एससीपी के अंदर स्टैंडर्ड बिन मैनेजमेंट अवेलेबल है, वेयरहाउस मैनेजमेंट अवेलेबल है. बट इफ यू नीड टू बी डिजिटल, दैट्स मीन if you need to execute everything from the mobile and on the go, so then you need to have the advanced warehouse management application. But SAP also handle the warehouse management system where the inventory tracking, their weights and their costings are there already. So in the other countries, mostly they request for the track and traceability. हम अपनी technical term में कहते हैं track and traceability. You receive a particular electronic with the serial ABC. You stack up in your warehouse and you deliver it to your customer. As soon as it's delivered to your customer, then the warranty started up. So as soon as warranty claims come into the play, system will tell them this serial number issued on this particular date और उसकी warranty जो expire हो गई है, और अगर ये warranty expire हो गई है तो ये किस दिन हमने customer supplier से खरीदा था और किस दिन अपने customer को दिया, और इसकी ट्रैक एंड ट्रेसेबिलिटी वेयरहाउस मैनेजमेंट फ्रंट के ऊपर और एडवांस वेयरहाउस मैनेजमेंट फ्रंट पे ये मेजर पार्ट प्ले करता है. ये तो आपकी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक गुड्स होगी. इसी तरीके से आपकी दूसरी सीरियलाइज और नॉन सीरियलाइज इन्वेंट्री होती है कि आप केजीज में क्या रिसीव कर रहे हैं, वेयरहाउस में क्या जा रहा है और उसको किस तरीके से डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हैं. तो ये जो पूरा कॉन्सेप्ट है वेयरहाउस सप्लाई चेन मैनेजमेंट का, नीड एंड डिमांड का, ये ईआरपी के अंदर करता है. व्हाटएवर द फोरकास्टिंग यू हैव, बेसिंग ऑन द सेल्स फोरकास्टिंग यू डूइंग प्रोक्योरमेंट प्लानिंग. So if you do the procurement, basing on that, you're receiving the goods and again distributing to your particular customer. So it's demand and supply mechanism, or you can, this is supply chain management came into the play.
Oh, that's great. Acha, Abik, I would like to ask another very quick question from you. हमने companies के perspective से तो काफी देख लिया. Ask a question from the consultant perspective. एक चीज मैंने खुद भी experience किया है, ERP experience. तो उसमें मैंने ये चीज देखी थी कि कंसल्टिंग कंपनीज जो है उनका एक मसला होता है कि द रिसोर्सेज दैट टेक years to train and gain experience. So basically what happens is that they leave eventually. So how do your Abacus and other companies deal with this thing?
Actually, I totally agree with you, because as soon as we bring up resource, we nurture it, we let them tell them that how to eat, how to talk, how to walk. So these consultancy is a lifestyle. So if we bring that particular guy who can talk easily in the market, वो फिर कहता है कि अब तो मुझे जाना है, मेरी तो नीड ज्यादा हो गई है, मेरे पैसों की डिमांड ज्यादा हो गई है, मेरे, और रातों रात वी फेस दीज चैलेंजेस. वो कहता है कि मुझे तो पता नहीं मेरे खर्चे आ गए 4-5 और मुझे इनको सपोर्ट करना. तो उसके लिए डेफिनेटली as in Abacus, we have the induction management plan. We offer the resources that are extraordinary. We offer them the jobs in our international offices. So this is the first thing. ये तो हमारा internal plan है. अब कोई resource के पास आपका plan आ जाता है, वो कहता है अब तो मेरी needs ऐसी हैं, you cannot give me the right amount of money. So इसके लिए हमारे पास definitely succession planning भी है. So with every project manager, we have 2 or 3 resources, but I cannot stop them, and I cannot stop any resource to go into the other organization. But definitely, we have the alternative, and we know that how we can offer the job that is taking that particular individual to the lifestyle that what we offering in Abacus. And these are some secret traits we have. So we sit with the resource, we deal with them, we definitely putting lots of things on the table. That resource we're giving us lots of things, so it's in negotiations. We need to keep it there. But I agree to the fact, yes, we face these challenges, but we have alternatives. We have the resources available in the market, and it's all together. The top management know how to get the work done from the sources, and we know.
Yeah, definitely, because that's how you have 60,000 plus customers worldwide.
Yeah, actually, particularly for SAP Business One. It's that I'm sharing the 60,000 plus customers, the count from like around 2 months ago. So luckily for SAP or Abacus, we signed in COVID 10 deals. So 10 are increased. So logically on the organization perspective, we signed 10 deals in same 40 to 45 days. So 10 deals
Hmm.
altogether in the world from the Abacus portfolio is there. So we're doing business, but with lots of challenges now there, but we're coping up.
That's right.
Great. So while Amir is here, and we have all the new viewers coming in, so Amir, to give the example perspective to the people watching, I'd like you to tell a short outline of how we shifted to SAP B1. What was the overall process in short, if you can explain?
Okay, well, basically, what happened was we were using a off-the-shelf, very low yield software before this. तो basically what happened was कि हमारे operations जो थे वो expand कर रहे थे माशाल्लाह. So we needed functionality as far as bookkeeping is concerned, as far as reporting is concerned, as far as control management is concerned. So we decided that SAP P1 was a good option to pursue. What happened after we implemented SAP P1? Our operations became streamlined. We were able to implement a lot of SOPs, standard operating procedures. We were also able to implement a lot of controls into the organization that helped in automating a lot of systems.
Mm-hmm.
As far as your question is concerned, so basically, जो process था, it starts with setting up a basic knowledge base for the implementation team. You tell them what the company is, what it does, what it encompasses, customers kya hai, vendors kya hai. Irtiza ne already ये चीज explain की थी. So basically, you start from the basic structure and then build upon it. So everything goes from there. Basically, the basic structure that means the good it is, उतना ही अच्छा आपकी आगे इम्प्लीमेंटेशन चलती है. प्लस देयर आर ट्वीक्स एंड थिंग्स जो चलती रहती हैं साथ साथ और वो टाइम के साथ ग्रो करती हैं. बेसिकली ईआरपी सिस्टम की सबसे बेहतर चीज ही ये है कि इट्स नेवर स्टॉपिंग. यू कैन कीप बिल्डिंग ऑन इट.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So it's still in the building process?
Yeah, as far as we're concerned, for right now, हम stable phase में हैं. लेकिन if we need to integrate some other modules or we need to integrate some other workflows, that can be done very easily.
Yeah. And what
Okay.
few of the things we doing, keeping up the SAP Business One is just an ERP for you guys. But I'm talking about SAP Business One now talking with machines, the PLC
Mhm.
machines, talking with and drones, doing these particular activities. That is actually the need that what in Pakistan and outside Pakistan is different. Right now, we just need to have the basic functionality of an ERP to control and implement the SOPs. But few of the customers now, I'm just as what we're talking today, a customer requesting that I need to have my lifts to be integrated with SAP, so I can see how many times it go up and down, and after 1,000 rotations, system will automatically intimate my technician that the service is due. So this IoT concept has come into the play, but that is again, you need to perceive that how automate and linking on our application with the same SAP. You need to go for the integrations and expanding the processes, giving the portals to the customer, giving the portals to the suppliers, giving the remote acceptability and track and traceability. So whatever the users sitting with me, you just whatever the platform you're using, either Android or either iOS, just go
Uh-huh.
find SAP Business One, download a standard application. It's available for you. Demo instance, see that what are the functionalities are there. The multiple applications, just go and find on iOS or the Android, just find SAP Business One application is available for you. You can see that lots of information that you just roaming around on the Facebook and other apps. You just go up and down, see the things, see the inventory quantity, see the supplier payments, see the customer payments. Even you, everything is accessible on the mobile. So that is,
Great.
the digital transformation come into the play, and it's a free of cost application. But once you need with your application, definitely you need to have an SAP at the back end, but the application is free of cost.
Oh, that's great. And that's for also a good thing for other people watching that if you need any more information, you can download this application free of cost. And Amir, thank you so much for joining, and we'll surely have more sessions on this with you. So thank you for joining.
Inshallah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So that was the DS Global perspective, and I'll come back to the questions asked by the audience. And since we are moving towards the end of session, so I'll be taking one last question from the audience, and then I'll be moving towards my last question. So it's a question that is ERP based jobs. What skills you need to make it to the companies like Abacus?
First of all, you have a courage, and you need to accept that you need to walk. Nobody can offer you a job. Either you have, the basic information and basic competencies, and the level is there. I'm the right example in front of you. I'm a marketing graduate. I
Uh-huh.
started off with the same one, and then I started a supply chain and operation management in the masters. Okay, but I'm a bachelor's graduate. So, what basic understanding you need to see, or you need to have to go for an ERP job? It's your perception towards seeing the things. Rest of the things you can learn in an organization. So, if you want to go for an abacus, first of all, if you need to be very particular, something you know as the financial management is the debit and credits are there, and your
Mm-hmm.
overall desire to just go for any abacus application. So you just need to know that what we do generally, we don't hire on the basing on the competencies. We hire generally based on that. Are you courage enough to learn the things? And what we do generally, rest of the things I can teach and tame you. This is my need,
Uh-huh.
this is my need. And that's what I tell you. For bringing into this lifestyle, you need to let it go and accept that we are there to support you, but definitely you need to work with us on the principles that what we are telling. So we are also a teaching organization that tell you that how to talk, how to walk, and how to execute as well.
Exactly. So I hope the question is well explained. And my last question, or let's say second last question, and it's that as we have explained it all, and I hope the people watching got it. So if I ask you, it's that give me just top three things about ERP. These top three things, which are the advantages that why you should convert to ERP, then what will be the three things?
Controlling,
Uh-huh. Sorry, I didn't get you.
controlling, controlling your
Controlling, I mean,
business. Yeah, controlling as in process controlling and business controlling.
as in process controlling, as in the three advantages, the basic three main advantages.
Okay, the flow information is will be easier for you, is in your fingertips. So you don't need to
Mm-hmm.
depend on the people, you need to depend on the application, or you need to depend on the processes. This is
Mm-hmm.
the first thing. Secondly,
Okay.
it's a culture. You're adopting a culture. So you're adopting or giving your organization a culture where you can just roam around within the premises of an organization. So something is
Uh-huh.
coming into the organization, is going to the organization, that is defined the culture. So the culture is a second advantage. You adopt in a culture and you just taking up all the things respect to it. And third and the foremost thing, the organizations that are going for an ERP, that's a win-win situation for everybody, because organization used to show them that I'm an organization that is built on the processes of SAP, and
Mm-hmm.
the direct and indirect users have the business opportunities available in the market. So you can understand that the percentage of jobs that waiting for you subject, you need to shake hand with the ERP. You need to talk
Uh-huh.
with the ERP. It's not be like that ERP not going to bite you. Trust me. And they be like,
Mm.
might be what it's not going to bite you. Just shake in hand and you feel good. And that's how the things will progress.
That's how the things will progress. Very well explained, Ankuza. So the last thing that since you guys are one of the leading names in the ERP Abacus Consulting, so how people can contact you and what are the process to contact you? If you can just summarize it at the end.
The process to contacting us is actually you can raise a query on our website. This is the first thing. I can share my email address, but that is again, lots of things come into play. So
Yeah.
this is we can share a few of email address and few numbers. on the website. There are there, so you can go and raise up your query. There are multiple Facebook pages are there, websites are there, Instagram are there. You just need to go over there and just request a little query. Trust me on this one. Minimum 24 hours, somebody will calling you from any part of the world. Okay, we will
Great.
reach you. We will reach you. You just need to drop a little message, and that's generally happening in lots of the Facebook page. That I need to have a property. You just need to type your number, and you will be having a calls from different part of the world. So you need to do the same thing.
Perfect.
Abacus Consulting is a page. Abacus Middle East is the page. Abacus Cambridge is the page. On the Facebook, on the LinkedIn, you just need to go and drop a query for it that I have a request for it, and definitely we will contact you. 24 hours is more than enough. Subject the holidays are not there. Okay, the Eid holidays
Uh-huh.
particularly.
Okay, great. So thank you so much, Irtiza. That was surely much needed and a very insightful session. And we're surely having more with you in future. So thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much, Anam, and thanks audience for listening me on lots of things. I generally used to talk too much, but this is what I learned actually. I need to share my experiences and my practical experiences. That's not the bookish understanding. These are what I'm discussing. It's all practical knowledge that I learned from like around 9 to 10 years, and I really want my audience and my organizations need to learn these things, that what benefit they can get from the processes, not particularly even the ERP. The process is how to talk, how to walk, how to react. And that's the human body
Great.
evolved like that. Okay?
Okay, great. So thank you so much, Irtiza. Stay safe.
Thank you. Thank you.
So that was a very precise account on the account of ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning, and I hope you guys had a positive outcome from it. And we will also be dropping the website of Abacus Consulting in the post, so that the ones of out of you who are trying to get into ERP can get a hold on it and can contact the people. So till then, we'll be back with yet another session tomorrow. So stay safe, keep smiling.